Good morning. Are you all there? Good morning. Let's say good morning first and then we'll start. Yes. Good morning. Yeah. I'm doing good morning. Good morning, sweetheart. Yeah. Who else is there? Say good morning so I can start. Kishan, good morning, Kishan. Vicky, good morning. Ravi, good morning. I know you have class at 11, so I intend to stop in an hour. Mohan, good morning. Nagma, good morning. I will start class, okay? Now, I'm doing the slide which says figure 4.2. I told you it is from the PMBOK Guide 2000. All right? Rupa, good morning. Okay. So, on the y-axis, you see the diagram, please. It must be on your phones. Please see the diagram. On the Naresh, good morning. Yes. On the y-axis, you will see the different activities that are taken from the 10 sub areas of project management. So the first area that we are seeing is scope, then time, then followed by cost, quality, human resources, communication, risk, and procurement. Now, on the x axis, you have the project life cycle phases, that is, from the concept to the closeout. After the concept, Bharti, good morning. After the concept comes development. After development comes implementation, right? After implementation comes the closure. All right. Now, what does integration management do? Project integration management brings all this together so that you successfully do the project. As I told you, project integration management begins with the beginning of the project and then it ends with the closure. All right. It ends with the closure. All through the project, you have the project integration management working. So, we'll come to project plan development, the next slide. What is a project plan? A project plan is a document used to coordinate all the project planning documents. All right. First, let us understand a project plan is a document. Document means it is written in black and white, so that when it is written in black and white, everybody can follow. There's an important difference between oral and written plans, because when a plan is written, everybody can follow, and that is what is necessary. So, whenever you want everyone to follow the same instructions on the same day at the same time and do in the same way, then documentation is necessary. Keep that in mind. That is the intention of document, and it's a permanent document. Suppose you have to go back and review also, you have to review at the various times of the project. You have to review even after the project is finished. In case there is a necessity for us to review the project also, it is possible when there is documentation. So first of all, understand that project plan is a documentation. Now, what is a documentation? What documentation it is? It is to coordinate all project planning documents. All right. Any other documents, any other project plans? There are so many minor plans that lead to the major overall plan, and for this we have documentation. Its main purpose is to guide project execution. All right. Its main purpose is to guide how to guide project execution during the execution or the implementation of the project. What to do, when to do, how to do, what is supposed to do, all this will be given in the project plan, because there is what we say, what is a plan, what to do, when to do, how to do. Okay. And then who is to do it, organization also will be given in the project plan, whoever by meaning of not by name, by designation. If they are very sure, even by name it could be given, but generally by designation. All right. Like report to the project manager, report to the supervisor, report to the engineer in charge, something like this. Okay. Now, project plans assist the project manager in leading the project team and assessing project status. So, see, I said two things. One is the project plan helps the project manager to guide the project team, guide the work of the project team, and secondly, assess the project status. Now, as I told you, next following some other class or this class only, I've given you a Gantt chart. We'll go into that. See, a Gantt chart gives you an idea of what to do. We work backwards, like you did the decision tree. Once we did the decision tree, to evaluate it, we worked backwards, like folding the mat from the back. We rolled back. So similarly, what we have to do is here in a Gantt chart, you give the entire project work, and from each section, suppose the project is in 5 phases. For each phase, you can have another Gantt chart also. But that's a different story. In the Gantt chart, if you have said, for example, we'll take our project of doing the auditorium. So if the, yeah, good morning, Shrisha. Suppose, no, not suppose, in the project auditorium, for us, the first is the foundation. All right. If you have said in the first 8 weeks you have to complete the project foundation, then after the 8th week you have to sit down and see, have we completed the project foundation. Suppose we've completed the project auditorium foundation in 7 weeks. Then what did we do good that enabled us to? Was our plan wrong? Should we have planned for 7 weeks? That is the first thing. Secondly, no, our plan was correct. If our plan was correct, then what is the good thing about this workers or procurement has brought the properly, all the materials have been procured properly so that they could have done the work. The laborers came in time. The project manager has done. Yashaswini, good morning. The project manager has done good work. He's made sure that the engineer and even the engineer has done good work. So instead of 8 weeks, they finished the foundation in 7 weeks. In this case, there's a positive deviation from the actuals. All right? No, sorry, from the standard. Standard was say 2 months or 8 weeks, but in 7 weeks you have completed. It means that you have a project deviation. So what have we done well? That could be is the one thing you could do. On the other hand, suppose in 8 weeks you still have some work left. How much of the work is left, and why is it left? Was there a holiday? Was there a strike? Was that the reason, or did the laborers not come? Was the procurement late? You have to do all this kind of analysis. So this project helps the project manager not only in leading the project team, also how to do the execution in the execution of the project, also for assessing the project status. Now, project performance should be measured against a baseline plan. You have a baseline plan, and that is the project development plan. So against this plan, the development and the performance progress of the project should be assessed. Is that clear? And it should be assessed based on the plan. Attributes of project plan or the characteristics. Go to slide 30, please. 30. Attributes of project plans. Project plans are also unique, just as projects. Projects are not daily, operations. Projects are not part of daily operations. They are unique. They are different. Once the auditorium is built, we are not going to build an auditorium again, isn't it? Our as a department, our daily operations are teaching, research, exams, etc. But this, if I told you the project we are discussing is, suppose the university gives us the responsibility of building a project, building an auditorium, building an auditorium next to our department, then this is the status. Okay. It is something different. It's a project. It's a unique thing. We are not going to build auditoriums every day. It is not our part of our job. All right. Once again, Tejas, good morning. Yashaswini, good morning. Ganesh, good morning. Murli Krishna, good morning. Arun, good morning. Not to miss Arun's glasses. Nice man. Okay. Right. Projects are unique, so are project plans. So since the projects are unique and the plan is related to the project, a project plan also will be unique. Plan should be dynamic. It should be like, you can't say, this is it, don't deviate. You cannot say like that. It is it and it should be it, but there should be leeway for some changes. You can't, everything is not, Abhash, good morning. Everything is not according to what you do, no? Shilpi, good morning. You cannot, everything is not according, cannot go according to 100% plan. There's some kind of deviation, some little bit. So, how much can be deviated? Like, you should be told, because there are human people involved. Human resources are human. Project manager and team are human. Someone can get sick. Some strike can happen. Buses may not ply. The trucks may not ply. There might be a strike for diesel or something like that. Okay, so you have to think of various of these capacities. Okay, so dynamic plan should be dynamic. Then plan should be flexible, not too much, but a little bit of flexibility. Plan should be updated as changes occur. Whenever the changes occur, see, suppose there is a bus strike, for example, then laborers can't come, or suppose there is a strike for all traffic or Bharat Bandh. Okay, so laborers can't come or they cannot go about. The material will be one that day late. Then there may not be even supply of food. All right, hotels may close. All right, then something like this will. So if there is no food, somebody will have to cook there for everybody. So that person's work is not done because he's cooking, for example. These are the practical difficulties, and you may not be able to go out to buy some things which are necessary. Say some small things, accessories are necessary, and you cannot get it because hardware shops are closed. So even though you plan, sometimes these things can happen. So because of this, there may be slight deviation. Like what? See, one day you could not work, so you told them, don't come, we'll see day after tomorrow. Don't come tomorrow, Bharat Bandh. There'll be a lot of difficulties, we're not working, day after tomorrow we'll work. Then what you can do is this holiday, you can shift it for a Sunday if the workers are willing. And then on a Sunday, if they're working, you have to pay them double. That means your cost became more. So these are the little changes that plan should accommodate. That is what I mean. Plan should be dynamic and flexible. All right, willing for slight changes like this. These are things that will happen because we are all human. All right, plans should be updated as changes occur. I explained that. Plan should first and foremost guide project execution. Basically, they are for how to do the project. Common elements of a project plan. We are on slide 31. Introduction or overview of the project. If someone is has joined after a week or so, and that person needs to know what to do for the project, then they should be looking at the Lakshmi, good morning. They should be looking at Roshan, Dev, Lily, Shruti, Devika, all good morning. They should be able to look at they should be able to look at the common elements of a project plan, introduction and overview of the project. Someone has joined late. Okay, then if they have joined late to the project, say there is another, the project manager said, I want an assistant project manager. I cannot handle all this alone. So they appointed a assistant project manager 5 days after the project has begun. Okay, so he needs to be briefed. Whatever briefing you do, black and white is better for him. So he should be able to look at the project plan and say, yes, I understand, this is the project, I'll join and I'll go ahead. Description of how the project is organized, okay, how it is organized, etc. Management and technical processes used on the project. Nina, good morning. My one, good morning. Yeah. So the entire project, when I was telling you, the assistant project manager, the minute he sees, see, you understand when you come late how I get distracted. So when you'll say good morning, I'm distracted and I'm losing the line of thought. It happens in the class also when you'll walk in. Never mind, at least you have come, isn't it? I should be okay. Here we are. Sometimes it happens. Today is quite early morning, isn't it? Okay. So I'm going again on common elements of a project plan, introduction and overview of the project. Then secondly, description of how the project is organized. Now you'll say, what is the difference, ma'am, between the first point and the second point? There is essentially a difference. Who is to do it is organization. How to do, when to do, what to do is project plan. who is to do it is organization. All right. Who will do it, how they are going to do it is organization. Then management and technical processes used on the project. Okay, all the processes, how are you going to do, what are the technology, what is the technology employed, are you going to do management by exception, are you, how you're going to manage the project. All right. Then next last one is work to be done, all the work to be done. That is essentially what the project is all about. The schedule, I explained to you how to the WBS, the work, that is the work breakdown structures, how they determine how much of work to be done, etc., etc. Yeah, and the schedule and the budget information. When will the money be released? How much money will be released? How much you can spend per week? So when do you have to pay the laborers? When do you have to? So the procurement manager needs to know when he can pay the people from whom he has taken the equipment, etc., etc. Suppose you want to buy, you cannot buy a crane, and we need a crane to do some kind of carrying work, and an excavator for the foundation. Once the foundation is over, we don't need the excavator, so there's no point in buying an excavator. Okay, suppose the excavator has to be rented for 2 months, or say 6 weeks you need excavation, or 5 weeks, 8 weeks if it is a foundation is to be done in 8 weeks, and in 5 or 6 weeks you finish the excavation. What is the point of buying an excavator? You may require, excavator means digging the soil. So if instead of buying an excavator, you can just rent it. So the project manager or the person who is in charge of the renting the excavator needs to know when he will get money, which he can pay as rent to the excavator people who gave him the excavator. Do you understand? So this is the way it goes on. So the work to be done, schedule and budget information is necessary. Now the procurement manager will require to know, see, he will not procure all the materials in the beginning and keep them to rot there. He will buy the material as and when is necessary. See, we are in Bangalore. If he needs to buy sand, he may buy, in parts, because it's going to rain. Every week we have rain these days. Suppose we buy sand and we keep, it's going to get wasted. So he may bring sand once a week only. So once a week, how does he? What is the agreement he has made with the people supplying the sand and other materials? He needs to know, so that he has to pay based on the information given by the project manager as to when the money will be released to him. He will talk the same thing to the people who supply the material, and if he doesn't keep his word, then they are not going to supply the material. The whole project is going to be delayed, and this we cannot afford. So this has to be according to the plan, when the budget is going to be released, etc., etc. All right. Now next, introduction or overview of the project. We are on slide 32. Now, every project has to be having a name. As I told you in my first class, we are going to call our project Project Audi. Nothing to do with the car. We are going to have this thing called, we call it Project Audi CBSMS. Okay, that's better, isn't it? Our project is going to be called Project Audi CBSMS. All right. So every project has to have a name, and our project, as we go on all through project management, we'll be calling it Audi CBSMS. Okay. Audi means the auditorium, not the car. I'm not here to advertise for Audi cars. All right. Okay. Here we are. A brief description. Next one. If you follow the slide, a brief description of the project and the need it addresses. Why do we require a brief description of the project? What is the project for us here? Audi CBSMS is, we need a auditorium for CBSMS. All right. Why do we need it? Because we need for all, we have a lot of students, and if we want to, say for example, first of all, guest lectures for CBSMS. Suppose there is an expert who has come and we want to talk to the expert, then what happens is, like the expert wants to talk to you, we need to put all of you together. You're 120, imagine you're 156, and now people live are only 26. Thank you. 130 are missing. Okay, 151 actually, though the Yashaswini's is 156, but there are only 151. So how many are missing? Sujan, good morning. Spandana, good morning. So you can imagine, we want, Imagine we want at least 300 capacity, the auditorium, and we do not have a room in near the department that is has 300 capacity. We have to use the other auditoriums. Imagine. So this auditorium will help CBSMS have guest lectures. See, when you use other auditoriums of the university, you have to take permission. But suppose an expert came just like that, somebody's uncle, somebody's friend came from somewhere and said, okay, he's a management expert and we would like you all to sit together and listen to that person's talk. Okay, it could be a lady also, somebody's auntie also can be there, somebody's relative. So then we find that that lady is very good in is an entrepreneur and you would like to know her experiences. Then we require an auditorium. Okay, for that every time we can't run to the university and ask permission. All right, we can, but it is simpler. This is simpler. Okay, next, no, the third thing, if you go back to my slide, the sponsor's name. What is the sponsor's name? It is the vice chancellor of the university here. Then the names of the project manager and key team members. Who is the project manager? Who is in charge of the auditorium? And etc. Then deliverables of the project. Deliverables of the project. What are the deliverables? Okay. When do you like we have an auditorium, it is the height is this much, whether there is a first floor for the auditorium, whether just a ground floor, whether there's a basement, whether there's a parking, what all are you going to do? A parking space under the auditorium, outside the auditorium, the mezzanine floor where you have the main hall, the first floor where you can watch the watch whatever is happening in the mezzanine floor. And do you want to have a storeroom, a music room, a room where all the audio is controlled, audio, video is controlled? You require a projection room. So this one, then you require a place where people, suppose you're having a cultural program, people need to get ready. Okay, so you need, excuse me, so people need to get ready for a cultural program. So you need dressing rooms, etc. You need you need toilets, you need washrooms, and such a thing. Suppose you have guests need to be taken care of, so you need a lounge, a sitting waiting lounge. So all the deliverables of the auditorium are put there. You need passages, and maybe you need a storeroom. All this, whatever is there, are the deliverables in the auditorium. Whatever rooms you're going to give, what are the facilities you're going to show, and then you're going to have chairs. Finally, you're going to have fix the chairs, and in the auditorium you may require some lights for psychedelic lights or something like that, whatever they call them. And then you may need screens, you may need audio systems, music system. All this is the deliverables. Okay, and how are you going to fit it? Because finally the auditorium that is ready for use will be handed over to the university. So all the deliverables are these things that are involved in the entire project. Okay, now next is a list of important reference materials. You need, suppose you don't have money and you require money urgently, then what are you going to do? Whom you're going to talk to? Maybe the finance officer or the vice chancellor himself. Okay, whom you should refer to. Suppose the material is stuck somewhere and the police are not allowing the material to come and your work is remaining. Something happened, and say there is all the trucks are stopped for checking and our material is stuck somewhere. Who is going to help you out? So all these kind of things, important reference materials. A list of definitions and acronyms if appropriate. If you need definitions or anything or everything, whatever I said will be here. Go to slide 33. How the project is organized. Okay. Here you have to have organizer. First of all, organizational chart. An organizational chart gives the organization structure. You must have seen that tree-like formation, no? The project manager on top. Here we would have the vice chancellor on top because he's the top management, and straight away to the project manager or maybe the registrar or then to the project manager. All right. Project manager only will be in contact with the top management. Then from project manager you may have project engineer, you may have construction engineer, you may have finance manager, procurement manager. all in a straight line if they are on the same level. Alright, they are the ones who are responsible, say to take the strategic decisions. Sorry, the operational decisions, strategic decisions are taken from on top, project manager with the stakeholders and the top management. The procurement manager will take the operational or tactical decisions. All right, same thing with the procurement, the construction manager, the or the engineer, and all of these people, the finance manager, he will be taking the operational decision, when to release the money, how much money to release. Though the money, say one say 50 lakhs is released by the university, he can't, finance manager cannot release all of it together. He will not. According, he will see what stage of the project plan the project is and how much of it is required according to budget, and he will release only so much. Is that clear? These are the tactical or operational decisions that are to be taken by the finance manager. So on it goes on. Okay, Mallikarjun, good morning. Am I audible, class? Just give me a thumbs up. Do you think I should speak louder? Okay, organizational charts. Now, I told you about the big organizational chart. Now, in the finance section, let us say, don't want finance section, we'll take the engineers section. Engineer may want to have one more organizational chart. Okay, excuse me. Okay, the engineer may want to have one more organizational chart. What is the organizational chart that the engineer wants? Who is the, he may have four supervisors. So, engineer will be on top, then you come down, supervisor 1, supervisor 2, supervisor 3, supervisor 4. And each supervisor is for one different part of the project. Okay, so under the supervisor, how many people are there? Alright, this will be another smaller organization chart for the engineering department. So you can have in the same organization chart, you can have it big, and all this will percolate from the top to the bottom. And this is why is an organizational chart necessary? Because you should know what you are responsible, whom you are responsible for. This is basically a human resources idea of how to handle people junior to you and whom to report. Whom to report will be given in the organization chart. Whoever is above you, you have to report. Whoever is below you, you are responsible for. Is that clear? So that is why in this slide, organization chart also gives you project responsibilities. Who is responsible for what, whom you can ask to do what, etc. Other organizational or process related information. For which process, what you have to do. I mean, what I told you about the organizational chart and the responsibility is rather enough. It gives you the rest. Let's come to slide number 34. Okay, here I'm talking about management and technical processes used on the project. So the first thing here in this slide is management objectives. What is the objective, and why are you going to build project the auditorium? Okay, management project controls, who is going to control what at what time period, etc, etc. Okay, then risk management, staffing and technical processes. I'll explain again. The first one is the objective. Why are you doing this auditorium? Second, controls. Controls means at what stage you have to stop and see what you have done. Control, I told you, comparing is, control is always in every process. Control is comparing the actuals with the standard. So in the project controls, it will essentially mean we are supposed to come to this stage of the project. You have we come to that project? See, it is something like every week you have a review meeting, and every week there is something, that some part of the auditorium that has to be built. Has it been built? Why has it not been built? If it has been built earlier by 2 days, how come? This is a positive deviation. There could be a negative deviation saying 2 days work is also left. Then why is it left? Was there a strike? What was the issue? What is the material? Did the material come late? If the material come late, why did you not order it properly? So all these are remedial actions that need to be taken. This is project controls. Then risk management. Excuse me. Excuse me a minute. Now, risk management. As I told you, there are two concepts, risk and uncertainty. Uncertainty cannot be measured, risk can be measured by probability. So, what is the probability that it's going to rain today? Something like this. And that is given by, expert opinion, calculations, meteorological calculations, etc. So, let us come back to risk management. Risk management is necessary whenever you foresee a risk and you need to mitigate the risk. Mitigate means make the risk lesser. So to mitigate the risk, you have to manage the risk. Manage the risk means you have to recognize that there is a risk. Recognize first of all that there is a risk, and then when you recognize the risk, you foresee the risk, and accordingly you take action. Okay. Then next comes project staffing. Hmm? Who is there on the team, what kind of people you require, what are the qualifications of these people that you require. Bharti, good morning. What are the qualifications of the people you require, etc., etc. All right. Then come the technical processes, if any. All right. Management information systems, for example, what are the software, what is the software you use for controlling, or what is the software you're going to use for information, to disseminate information, to collect information, etc. Or for example, are you going to use a WhatsApp group? Is the engineering department having a WhatsApp group only for their engineers and supervisors and staff? Hmm? Or the project manager itself is using a WhatsApp group? Are you part of the WhatsApp team? So every time he's communicating, that could be one way of communication. I'm not saying it's a technical process. It could be a small kind of software, or maybe they're using another software for accounting. So whatever you're going to planning to use, because you've got to procure it. You can't do pirated work, isn't it? If you want to procure it, say you're using Tally. Do you have Tally? Are you going to buy Tally? Or are you going to use Excel sheets? Who's going to use Excel sheets? Is someone versatile enough to use Excel sheets? How are you going to give the reports? In what format are you going to give the reports? How are you going to calculate the salaries of the employees? So all the nitty gritties, the small points, etc., need to be put. See, understand, class. How to be successful is to how to be successful. In my experience, if I can make 28 hours out of 24 hours, you say, how do you balance time? How do you make time for your home? Work life balance, for example, as a lady. How do you make time for your home? How do you make time for your work? How do you make time? I travel nearly 2.5 hours a day to the university and back. How do you make time for this? Then you have to plan. And plan what? Plan the small things. See, I'll tell you one simple thing. Suppose I want to cook, I want to make noodles. Okay, my favorite example. And I want to put, I like to put, say, I like to put, I will put beans, carrot, capsicum, cabbage, and say I want to make it, I'm a vegetarian, so I want to put eggs. Okay, not vegan, vegetarian. Eggs are vegetarian. This one, and I want to put button mushrooms. Imagine, I feel that button mushrooms gives my noodles a very different taste. So suppose I do not buy the button mushrooms, I come home, I've bought everything, I've ordered everything, and the shop has sent it to me, and I say that, oh, I've forgotten the button mushrooms. And then again, I have to call up the shop. The stores will send me, but that will waste 1 hour of mine. That is why I have not I have not done the small little things that I should do. I have to do it. See, whenever we organize a program, if you remember, I make someone in charge of the days, someone in charge of the auditorium, someone in charge of the food, someone in charge of the discipline, and also we make someone in charge of keeping garbage bags everywhere, so that the garbage is always collected properly, and we don't have to pay someone to go and collect the glasses, etc. We keep garbage bags at the end of the rooms everywhere, and we announce where the restrooms are, so that everyone is comfortable. So plan everything that is necessary. And also in the auditorium, suppose as I was telling you, we are going to make an auditorium, we are going to put alternative power supply. All right, because if the power doesn't, suppose the power is cut, not there's a power shortage, power outage that day, then we need to have the mics and the music systems working. So we will also have to have alternate power supply systems. So all these are the technical processes that are involved. Now next slide is slide number 35. Please look on your phones. Major work packages. Okay, what are the major work packages? What are the key deliverables and other work related information? Now what are the key deliverables? I told you we are going to have a parking space underneath the auditorium. We're going to have a parking space outside, which has to be tarmacked. Okay, maybe you have to put cement or concrete because it's all jungle, no, near the department, so that where cars can come. Maybe there's a driveway. So suppose you're going to talk about deliverables of the project auditorium CBSMS. Then we need a driveway, we need a parking lot outside, we need a underground parking lot, we need a mezzanine floor where the actual hall is there, we need a first floor, like from the first floor you can half only, so that you can watch what is happening in the auditorium. We need restrooms, we need changing rooms, we need all this. Okay, then if you look at it, these are the actual infrastructure. Then you may require a projection room, then you may require a lounge for the work, for the guests to sit down. You may require a room for them to rest, and a washroom there. So all these kind of things, when you're thinking of serving them tea, coffee, or some snacks or food, which has to be, you require a small little kitchen there. Kitchen, maybe you require one little something to heat, and etc., one power socket, etc., etc. You need, how many power sockets you require? Suppose you're projecting. Suppose there's someone comes with a laptop and he wants a power socket, he wants to check before he goes for the actual program. So all this, is necessary, and that is done by each different people. They will give you, suppose engineer will tell you this is the amount. He'll have an electrical engineer under him. That electrical engineer will decide all the power sockets, etc., etc., where the line should go, where you should have how you're going to have the power lines, etc., etc., is his work. And so all this, for example, I'm just giving you example: major work packages, key deliverables, and other work related information is in also in the project plan. Then project schedule information. Come to slide number 36. The summary schedule, totally. See, we'll do one thing. We are going to actually make a schedule for a auditorium CBSMS. Suppose we say, how do we do it? Can we say, oh, 1 year, oh, 2 years, 1.5 year, maybe 1 year, 2 months? We can't do that. We have to decide. For example, let us decide we are doing the digging for the foundation. It requires 8 weeks to make the foundation. Okay, excavate the land and make the pillars. Let us say we want 8 weeks. All right, may not be, see, I'm not an engineer, so or I have not done any building of an auditorium. Let us imagine we can do it in 8 weeks. Okay, then we have to start the construction. Let us say the working whole entire putting up the building will require another 6 months. 6 into 4, say 24 weeks. Okay, 24 weeks for raising the structure. Okay, let us say another 2 months for doing the plastering, etc. 2 months is another 8 weeks. So far I've told you 8 weeks for foundation, 24 weeks for raising the structure, and another 8 weeks for plastering, etc. All right, let us say we'll give it 3 months for plastering, because electrical work, etc., should be done. Let us say it's not 8 weeks, it is 12 weeks for plastering, etc. And then all the finishing, no, another 4 weeks. So we have 8 weeks, plus we have 24 weeks, plus we have 12 weeks, and another 4 weeks. How much is that? Add up and tell me. I just want to know whether you're following. I repeat, foundation took us 8 weeks. Raising the structure took us how much? 24 weeks. And then plastering, etc., took us another 12 weeks. And then to finish everything, it took us another. Finish everything means along with the plastering, you have to do the interlocks, driveway, etc. Let us say another 4 weeks. So how much is that total? Let us see if you are really listening to me, or just put me on and then you have disappeared. Let me get an answer, man. How many weeks totally is the auditorium going to happen? I'm really getting doubts now. How much is 8 plus 24? 32. 32 plus 12, 34, 44. 44 plus 4, 48. So we require 48 weeks. That is 46, sir. Count again. Count again, Rupa. 8. I said 8. 8 plus 24. 24 is 32. 32 plus, I said 12. 32, 34, 44. 44 plus 4, I said. 48. Yeah, very good. Lily, Devika. Yes, Devika, you think, I think too. Yeah, 48 weeks. Yeah. Okay, 48 weeks. Now, 1 year is 52 weeks. All right. That means we'll finish the project in 11 months. You understand how we decided the schedule and the total time, this one, isn't it? So, and we can break it up later, but currently, so many 48 weeks is enough. Now, next, I was talking to you about this is slide 36. Yeah, I know you all are with me. Thank you, all of you. Very sweet. Okay, so we have project schedule information where we have the summary schedule. Just now, what I did is a summary schedule. Total, we decided our project is going to take 48 weeks. All right, that is equal to if you divide, how many months is that, man? If 1 year is 52, 11 months it should be, isn't it? Just work it out. 11 into 4 is 44 actually. How is it not synchronizing? 11 into, if it you say, is there, but some months may have more than 4 weeks, isn't it? Because 1 year is 52 weeks. You divide 362. What is, guys, do 364 by 7. Do 3. Okay, no problem, Rupa. Do 364 by 7. How many weeks do you get? Is it 52? Come on, do it. And 48 means, I think, around, if 1 year is 52 weeks, 48 weeks should be around 11 months. Okay, let us go ahead. 52, yes, Shilpi, 52. So 52 minus 4 is around 11 months. See, here we have a very good example like this. 52 weeks in a year. So if you say December, let us say December is the last month, we are starting in Jan of 2021. So December should have 4 weeks, isn't it? So 52 minus 4 is 48, all right? But if you take at the rate of, so it should, 48 should be actually end of November, January to November, 11 months. But if you say 1 month has 4 weeks, and if you say 11 months into 4, it will get only 44. See, these are the things that have to be calculated properly. So we can't say it is 11 months. We can easily say 48 weeks. All right. If we say 11 months, then where did the other 11 into 4 is 44? So sometimes in one, if 7 into 4 is 28. but in 1 month you have either 30 days or you have 31 days. All right, so these are the things that can go wrong. So that is why for accuracy you say 48 weeks. All right, you understood that. So this is a summary schedule. All right, then you come to the next point in the slide, detailed schedule. In the detailed schedule you'll say, for example, I told you foundation 8 weeks, raising the structure 24 weeks, and then plastering etc. I said 12 weeks, and then finishing 4 weeks. All right, now this could be the detailed schedule, but it is not enough. In the foundation for 8 weeks, what are you excavating takes how long? Putting the foundation, like raising the pillars of the foundation takes how long? That has to be more detailed. All right, so when you say in 1 week, say the first 4 weeks are purely for excavation, and in the first week you have to excavate so much feet. Okay, let us say in the first week you have to excavate 12 feet. Imagine, I have no idea how deep you have to go for a foundation for a building of that idea. Let us say first week you have to dig 12 feet. So at the end of the first week you are sitting for a meeting and you are finding out various things. Have we finished digging 12 feet? If we have finished, has the finance manager released enough money for the laborers' work? All right, has everybody come in time? If you have finished in the 12 feet in the first week, you have achieved one big target. Okay, let's go another 4 feet. Say we find that we cannot go, as we go deeper it takes more time to dig because loose soil on top. No, let's say we have to go another 4 feet in the next week. So at the end of second week, have we finished digging 16 feet? What have we released the money? Have we paid the workers? Has everybody come on time, etc., etc.? See, finance manager and the engineering department only will be, construction manager will only be working. All the other things will be little slow. When it comes to the raising of the structures and all that, all the other people, see, electrical engineer will be concerned only when the structure is done to lay the electrical lines. All right, and some people who are doing the interior decorations will be necessary only after the structure is raised. So why should we bring them from the interior decoration department first only? They can come, architecture department can come and plan, and then they are not necessary till the structure is raised. They may have to come and check at intervals whether the structure is raised according to plan. Apart from that, they may not be necessary. So why waste people's time? Why waste money? So all this is detailed schedule, who has to come when, etc., etc. Okay, has the inspection been done by the engineer? All this has to be done. Other schedule related information. All right, now next we come to project budget. See, project budget, first one, the next slide is slide number 37. Okay, the first one is a summary budget. The summary budget gives entire gamut of activities and what they have to do. When you have the project plan, the project budget is very easy. All right, what is the project budget, total budget, and for each this thing, how much money has to be released, what stage of the project you require funding. From the university you have to bring money. You can't bring all the money initially. Only say university releases 50 lakhs, till how long can you sustain with 50 lakhs? When have you to ask the university for an additional 50 lakhs? You understand? All this will be summary budget, every whole summary budget, and then detailed budget. What you require for, see, detailed budget will go simple like this, as per functions will go. What you require for procurement, I mean, what material you require, at what stage you require that material. So the material, how many laborers you require, what stage you require. You need an excavator you require, say, for only 6 weeks. So how much rent are you going to give? Do you need one excavator? Do you need two? If you want to do it faster, can we afford to pay rent for two excavators? Are we okay with one excavator and a little stretching of the time, 2 more additional weeks or something like that? These are all decisions in a detailed budget. All right, well, how many laborers and their charges, who needs to be paid at what time. All this is the summary budget and the detailed budget and any other budget related information. All right. Now you come for the to the next slide, slide number 40. This is wait slide number 38. You have a sample plan for a software management program. You look at this introduction. The first one is introduction, where you have project overview, deliverables, evaluation of the project management plan, reference materials, definition, and acronyms. This is the project charter. Then the organization. Under organization, you get the model, organization structure, the boundaries and interfaces and responsibilities that are related to the organization structure. I have just explained. I hope you understand. Then the management process. Here you have management objectives and priorities, assumptions, dependencies and constraints, risk management, monitoring and controlling mechanisms, and staffing plan. I have already explained to you. I'm sure you will understand. Then comes the technical process. You have the methods, tools and techniques, software documentation, and project support functions. Last comes the work packages, schedule, and the budget. Here in the work packages, you have work packages itself, how to do, when to do, what to do, dependencies, who is responsible, finance manager. See, finance manager, everybody is dependent on the finance manager. Unless he gives money, you cannot procure, you cannot pay the people, you cannot work, isn't it? You cannot rent an excavator. So dependencies, resource requirements. Like one simple thing is, I need an excavator for the first 6 weeks of the project. I need to rent an excavator for the first thing. I need to also with the excavator, I may require cranes for the after the when you do the I need to require one crane for when you raise the structure. Maybe you require cranes. Okay, resource requirement, budget and resource allocation, and schedule. Okay, now if you go on, you will go to slide number 39. Let us go to see what my slide says, what people who are successful do to get a good project done. All right, and they see you even whatever for a project or anything. When you do anything, you need to spell out what needs to be done. You're going to cook a dish, maybe your Nepali dish. I've been seeing your dishes, or Turkmenistan dish, or Tajikistan dish, or say Indian biryani. Yeah, Indian biryani tops it all. You're going to make a biryani, say you want to make a chicken biryani. You need the chicken, and you need to decide where to buy the fresh chicken. All right. Do you need to marinate the chicken? All right, your friends are coming, so you need to marinate the chicken. Let's say we are going to cook the chicken biryani in Lily's house. All right, so Lily is responsible to buy the chicken and marinate it, clean it and marinate it and keep. So all the others are coming at 11:30. So not today, you have class on coming Sunday. So Lily has to buy the chicken, clean it, marinate it for 1 hour. So she has to do it. Marination has to happen at 10:30. So that 11:30 others are coming. Okay. So let us say one of you, I don't want to name who, Zukra. Zukra is going to buy the rice. So Zukra has to decide. So you all have to taste Turkmenistan food, Rima. Okay, I don't know what goes into the Turkmenistan food, man. So I'm going for the Indian biryani. Indian by heart, by soul. Okay, and by looks also. Okay, sorry. I would enjoy Turkmenistan food, but I'm unable to come and see what it is. Yes, Rima. So, Rima, you're supposed to buy the tomatoes and the onions. Okay, let us say who else is there. Amreen, you go for the greens. The coriander leaves, the mint leaves are your responsibility. Okay, let us say others are all coming, but you all are responsible for this. So unless you all buy, say one of you forgets to buy one item, and someone has to whom will catch will catch Shilpi. Shilpi, you have to make the ginger garlic paste and the green chili paste. Okay, you're supposed to buy that, make it and come. Okay, suppose one of you cannot do it, okay, or you cannot come, there was some emergency. What happens? Everything goes for a toss, isn't it? You have to suddenly buy, run about, buy, etc. So, yes, Amreen. Okay, sure, sweetheart. Okay, the winners clearly spell out what needs to be done in a project. So, you all have to, suppose you plan, like how I have told you, your biryani will come excellent. It will not be like, this is not them and that is not there, etc. Isn't it? Everything you will have planned. See, it says also, if you look at my slide here, slide 39, by whom, when, and how. See, I told you by who has to make the ginger garlic paste, who has to buy the tomatoes and the onion. Perhaps you have to cut see, you cannot cut onion first, it will not smell nice. You have to cut it in Lily's house. Okay, tomatoes, because all of you will be there, you all can cut there. Okay, and see that the tomatoes are fresh. Suppose the tomatoes are not fresh, isn't it? So, by what needs to be done, by whom, when, and how. Okay. Suppose you want to make ginger garlic paste. See, for a biryani, you don't make ginger garlic together. You can make ginger separate, the garlic separate, the green chili separate, or you put the whole green chilies. So you have to be you have to know how to make the ginger garlic paste. See, don't feel bad that I told you do this, you do this. This is only an example, okay? And whoever I remember, I told. I'm going to catch all of you. Yashaswini also, all of you, Spandana, all of you. Not only the girls, why not the boys also? But now, this is just an example. Okay, I hope this is only for explaining. So, how to do, what to do, when to do. So, you have to do all this, and we have to meet. I'm coming. We have to meet in Lily's house at 11:30 on Sunday. So, we can put it together and make the biryani, and they're going to eat it. And we're going to take pictures and put it on Facebook for everybody to feel jealous. All those who didn't come. Okay, so all of you on Lily's behalf, I'm inviting you to Lily's house. Bring the stuff and come. I come, I sit, and I eat. I do nothing. Okay, just joking. So already, as I told you, a simple example: what needs to be done, when, by whom, when, and how. When we do this, and also Lily has to make sure she has a big vessel enough for this biryani. If the vessel is not there, I will bring the biryani. Lily, yes, I'll bring the vessel. I got big vessels. I'll come with a vessel. All this has to be planned. Lily should not say, gas is over. Okay? So you have to make sure, Lily, that there is gas also. Yeah, it will support our cooking. So, don't you think when we plan all this, we have not given Lily the work. She has a small baby. Good morning, Purnima. I'll bring Purnima ma'am also. She's very sweet. Yeah, Purnima ma'am is the head of Lorvin College, MBA. Yeah. So thanks, Purnima. Sweet of you. So what we do is we will put together and by whom, when, and how, and everything. We are going to make a fantastic biryani and we're going to have a good time. So we have to plan. Now, when we eat, if we require some, soft drinks, someone has to plan that. All right, everything, the plates. Suppose all of us, Lily is a student here. Suppose she doesn't have enough plates, then we have to organize for plates, for glasses. I don't expect Lily to have yeah, Purnima. I don't expect Lily to have 20 plates in the house. I myself will find it difficult, having lived for so long. To have 20 plates suddenly in the house. So we have to plan for the plates, for the glasses, everything. We can't two of us share one plate, isn't it? We can share the food, but the plate is not very comfortable, special. So all this, and are we allowed? Is there enough place for 20 of us to do social distancing and do all this? We have to plan. All right. When we plan all this properly, we can make an excellent biryani. We can have an excellent time together, isn't it? And we can leave in time. The biryani will be done by 2 o'clock. We can eat by 3, 4. By 4 we can go because I have to drive. I may need to. So all this, it is very necessary in life and in a project. You have to do what to do, by whom to do. That is organization. By whom, what to do, when to do, how to do is planning. Organization is who is to do what. So when you do all this naturally, okay guys, I think it is time for me to stop because you have to get dressed and run to class. God bless. Have a nice day. I enjoyed the actual project of Odyssey BSMS, and I also like the biryani project. So please remember, all of you, we are going to have a biryani project, which is part of it's academic exercise. We'll have an academic exercise of Project Biryani in Lily's house. Yeah, done, Lily? Okay. Bye, class. Bye, all of you. God bless you. Go to class. See what is going to happen. Okay. When you want to meet me, you let me know. I'll be there. All right. I took class because at 11, I think sir wants to put you all together and do some discussions. Okay. So here we are. I'll say bye. Really, I cannot take long. Good day. Good day to all of you. Love you. Have a great day. I'll say bye. Good day. Good day. Love you all. Bye.